Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV. I got another package here from our favorite online schlock house, Temu. They sent over fewer things than they did last time, but there are some interesting gadgets in here that I want to check out. So we're going to open this package up and then test everything inside of it here in just a second. But I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that the cheap items we got from Temu came to us free of charge from Temu. However, they are not paying for this video, nor are they reviewing or approving this before it gets uploaded. Typically, they want to review these videos up front, but that's not how I operate. So we're going to unbox this thing, and whatever happens, happens here. So let's get to it. All right, so this first thing in here is a little Keyfinder device. This sells for $1.89. This, of course, is not going to work with Apple's Find My network or the Samsung and Google equivalents, but it apparently does have a smart app, although the instructions here are very, very tiny. So let me install that phone app, and hopefully it doesn't give away too much private information in the process, but I'm doing this on your behalf. All right, against my better judgment, I downloaded their app here. It is called Qihang, and I guess what you're supposed to do here is hold down the button on the tracker here until it beeps, and there it goes. So now it is in pairing mode, and then I'm going to go ahead here and add the device to my list. As you can see, it found it already. So I'm going to click connect, and I think it's going to pair up. There it goes. Okay. And then I guess the further this thing gets away, the more that it will get weaker here. But it doesn't have like the ability to find its direction. It's just all based on signal strength. And there's not much you can do with this thing, I guess. I don't know if it'll report back to them if it gets out of your possession like the Apple and Samsung and Google stuff do. But what I can do with it is turn it off, and once it's paired, if you ever get away from it, it will sound this horrific alarm here that you hear right now to tell you that it's been disconnected. So if it's connected, it's always going to be looking for it, and if it loses track of it, then you're done. Now, the other thing that I noticed with this is that it's got this background app that is always running here in order for this to work. So the execution here is not all that elegant. And there's also some less than favorable reviews of this app in the App Store. So not a lot of positive reviews here on the Google Play Store, but it is just a very basic key finder. One other thing you can do is you can ping the alarm on the key fob itself by pushing that button there, and it'll beep and flash a light. So if you're losing your keys a lot, maybe it might be useful, but what I'm worried about is that this app basically runs here in the background all the time, and I don't know if this is something I'm going to feel comfortable recommending, but it is $1.89. All right, maybe we'll do better with this next item. This looks a little more functional. This is $16.49, a portable mini thermal printer. It looks like we've got the yellow one here according to that sticker on the top. So let's take a look and see what we got here. And there we go. We've got the printer. It almost looks like it's got a camera on the front, but I don't think that's the case. It's got like a little set of teeth here for cutting the paper. So it's going to be like one of those thermal receipt printers. You got a USB, micro USB cable here for powering it, I guess, and another tiny operating manual. Let me dig into this real quick and let's see how we can get this thing printing. All right, so I've got the printer here loaded up. This has got a rechargeable battery built inside, and it looks like it connects over Bluetooth. You have to get the Tiny Print Shenzhen 100 Cow Technology app here. And once you do that, you can pair this to the app and you're good to go. So I'm going to take a quick picture of the printer itself. Let's do a little meta deal here. And I'm going to go ahead and print that out. Let's see what happens. The picture is a little on the blurry side, so we'll have to maybe take another sharper picture in a second, but I just wanted to get a feel for how this thing can print. And there you go. So it looks like kind of like your Game Boy Color printer. It's 1 bit essentially. So it actually looks like if I were to like fax this 15, 20 years ago, this is what it would, what it would look like. Pretty funny. Let me take another picture and let's see how that comes out. All right, so here we've got some goofball that came into the office here a few minutes ago. I'm going to go ahead and print that. This picture is much more in focus, so I'm going to click on print, and there you go. I'm actually surprised by how quickly this thing spits out images, although of course it is just going to be this 1-bit technology here. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. I wish these little papers had stickers on the back, which might make it more useful. but that's what it looks like. It's got a lot of graininess to it. That's just the nature of how these thermal devices print out, but it might be kind of fun for the kids to play with if you are okay with installing this app on their phone. So the printer again is $16.49, and you can buy replacement paper here. 5 rolls cost $3.89. So the consumable cost is not all that expensive like it is with some of the name brand stuff out there, and it might be kind of a fun little thing to play around with. All right, this next item consumed most of my budget here. This is a drone, the X6 drone here, and this costs $37.39, but it does have a built-in camera on it, and you got to be 14 to use it, it looks like. And what prompted me to get this is that they're running these ads on Facebook right now for, I think, this drone, where they're saying you can get this for free. The good news is that they're very self-aware about what a kind of schlocky operation they are. But this is the drone here, and we'll see how well this thing flies in a minute after I get it charged up and everything. But it looked pretty cool. Now, the one in the ad was a 4K drone. This one does not appear to be 4K. By the way, they say that you can get one of these for free, and that's sort of true, but you got to buy a whole bunch of stuff to be able to get to the sales amount to be able to get the drone for nothing. So just be aware of that. Yes, it is sort of free if you want to go that route, but it does take some expense to get yourself there. And I'm not sure if the reward is going to be worth it, but we'll see. We've been surprised before. So hopefully this will redeem everything else we got in the box here. They didn't send as much stuff as they did last time. My budget was lower, so we'll have to see how this thing plays out. But you do get a controller here. This does not feel all that confidence building here. It feels extremely cheap. And it looks like I got to put some batteries in this, so I'll have to track down some batteries. This does work with your smartphone, of course, so we'll get that smartphone attached to it in a minute. You've got some spare parts, though, so you've got some extra propellers and what looks like some propeller guards in here, along with a screwdriver and a USB charging cable. This one's got a barrel connector on it. And this is the drone itself. It's got a little antenna that hangs off the bottom here. It feels incredibly cheap, so I would imagine that this thing is not going to survive its first collision with something, and I doubt it might even survive a flight. We'll have to see what happens here. I almost feel like you got to be really careful just opening it up here to prevent any kind of damage. So you have to get these arms to click in, it looks like, before you take off. And I'm not sure where the battery is on this, so we may need to take a look at the instructions to get a better feel, because I don't think there's a battery in this thing. So I will have to investigate that. And then, of course, there is an app that we have to download. So let me do my homework on this. The good thing is there are English instructions. And let me see if we can get this thing off the ground out in the backyard. All right, as I've been poking around with this thing, it does in fact have a battery here on the back, and that's what this was. The problem is that it's very hard to get it out. I had to use a pair of pliers to pull it out. Thankfully, I didn't break anything, but it feels like it can break very easily. Now, the barrel connector here plugs into the top of the battery, and you plug this into a USB power source to charge. So I'm going to let this thing charge up for a few minutes, and then we will see how far it flies and how easy it is to control. It looks like you connect the phone to the drone's Wi-Fi to get the image back from it, so we'll take a look and see what its capabilities are here in a second. All right, the good news is the drone does fly. The bad news is that it is completely uncontrollable. So as you can see, I let my finger off the stick for a second. Any good DJI drone would stay where you left it. This thing just wants to fly all over the place. In fact, mine was continually flying backwards. I could not get it to fly forwards. The only thing I could do was negate its backwards movement. And then, of course, it was flying left and right and in circles and doing everything but having any kind of controlled flight. I would almost say this thing is dangerous to fly, given that you can't control anything. Also, it's supposed to connect to your phone over Wi-Fi, but it never advertised its Wi-Fi access point per the instructions. So it looks like the Wi-Fi was not working on this thing at all, so I couldn't even get the camera to work. And now the drone is living back there in the woods, because that is where it ended up when I lost total control of it and it just shot off in that direction. And I'm just not risking life, limb, and poison ivy to get that thing out of the tree that it's currently sitting in. So at some point when we get to the winter, I will retrieve it and dispose of it properly. But at this point, this thing, I would say, is a total piece of junk. So I think from this batch of Temu stuff, we kind of struck out, although the thermal printer might be kind of fun to play around with. It's not all that expensive. Again, it would be better if it printed stickers versus this receipt paper, but it does do what it's supposed to do. So maybe on the next one we'll have better luck if they still want to send me stuff after this video. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Brian Parker, Chris Allegretta, Hot Sauce and Video Games, Logic KGR, Tom Albrecht, and Amda Brown. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.